Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I wish to everyone who's watching. My name is Kurnia Sofia binti Johan. My metric number is D2021109890. In today's video, I am going to present to you my e-portfolio for English language teaching methodology. First of all, we are going to go through each topic that we've learned for this assignment, which are the Standard Based English Language Curriculum (SBALC). In this topic, I will be explaining a little bit about SBALC and together with Higher Order Thinking Skills or HOTS. Then, in the second topic, which is motivation in language learning, I will be explaining what is motivation and how I will motivate my students. Then I will continue with the third topic, which is language learning strategies, and lastly with the fourth topic, which is 21st century teaching and learning strategies. Before I conclude, before I close my presentation, I will be sharing to you um, types of teachers that I want to be in the future. So the first topic is the Standard-Based English Language Curriculum, or SBELC. Is a document that includes the English language content, the learning standard, and also the pedagogical approaches in teaching English. So SBELC is a planned benchmark that will ensure teachers to instruct their classes in accordance with the standard. In other words, we can say that SBELC is a guideline for teachers to plan a thorough lesson so their aims can be achieved. SBELC aims for students to equip the basic language skill once they complete the 6-year primary education. So, SBELC have put a clear expectation of what students have to achieve in their level, and teachers use this expectation to conduct their classes. And next is the higher order thinking skills or HOTS. HOTS is an innovative approaches in education that is developed from Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is a framework elaborated by Bloom and his collaborators, consisted of 6 major categories, which are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The analyzing, evaluating, and creating are known as the higher order thinking skills or HOTS, while the remembering, understanding, applying are known as the lower order thinking skill. It is said that applying logic to the classroom may have helped students become more creative, more critical thinking, and are more adaptable in various situations. Uh, but it doesn't mean that lower order thinking skills are not important, because the lower order thinking skills are the baseline that will ensure students could achieve the higher order thinking skills. So both stages are crucial to each other. So moving on to the second topic, which is motivation in language learning. So what is motivation? Motivation is a condition that activates and sustains behavior towards a goal. According to Murayama, motivation is distinguishable from general cognitive function and helps to explain gains in achievement independent of scores on intelligent tests. As a teacher, it is our duty to motivate students to keep on learning and not to give up halfway. Learning a new language can expose our students to various kind of challenges that might harm their motivation. They might feel anxious and or discouraged as they think others are doing better than them. So it is our responsibility to motivate them to keep on going forward. So there are three ways to to motivate students in this topic, which are trigger their interest, or integrate fun activities and technology, or encourage language experience outside the classroom. So, in my opinion, for me, I personally would like to motivate my students by trigger their interest because I believe that combining our interests while learning will make the subject much more enjoyable and easier to grasp. So this strategy can be implemented by using a movie or a song. Um, so so everybody might love movies or songs. So we can use this to attract their interest in the classroom. Maybe we can watch a short movie together, then ask the students their understanding of the movie. Or maybe we can tell students to make a summary of the movie that they have watched. So this way, we can still teach student language skill, but in an enjoyable atmosphere. And I think that learning this way might affect students more since they are not stressed or feel burdened with the task given. To expand my students' vocabulary, I would definitely ask them to read and listen more. But if I am teaching them vocabulary in the classroom, I would try and use the cognitive strategy. I choose this strategy because sometimes cognitive strategies use a repetition action in order to memorize and understand a topic. And I believe that this way is the best way to teach students vocabulary. Um, this is my plan to teach vocabulary, to use cognitive strategy in teaching vocabulary. So firstly, I would provide the students with a text or a passage, then ask them to read the passage. Um, then we will have a little discussion to make sure students could understand the passage or not. Then if they found any words that they are unfamiliar with, they have to underline it and search for the meaning. Then after they got the meaning of the words, I will ask them to write simple sentences using those words. This will make sure that students could fully understand how to use those words in a sentence. Yes, this method might seem very boring, but it is actually could actually help students memorize the the new vocabulary that they learn because during the whole class students will be using the same words over and over again, and this repetition will actually make them familiar with the words. So if they so in the near future when they came through the same words, they will be familiar, and maybe they will be able to use it in their writing. So I would make use of technology through the inquiry-based learning approaches. Inquiry-based learning is a learning process that engages students by making a real-world connection through exploration and high-level questioning. So I will integrate the use of technology when students are trying to gain additional information about the topics being discussed. So, um, For example, during an information retrieving activity, I would divide the students into groups, then give student a topic to discuss. And then when they are discussing, I'll ask them to discuss the information that they have without referring to any books or any media. The discussion are solely based on their knowledge about the topic. After that, I'll tell I allow them to search information about the topic from online authentic materials. Then they have to list out any interesting facts or news about the topics. And lastly, they have to present to the class what they have learned from the additional knowledge, and is their knowledge uh, and how can the new information help them, and is their knowledge that they discussed earlier is the same with the additional knowledge that they have found on the internet. I want to be the kind of teacher who motivates all my students to do well in everything they do and to believe in themselves. Most of all, I want my classroom to be a great place for learning, especially learning that is led by the students. Um, when my students leave my classroom, I want them to not only have a basic understanding of the subject matter, but also know a lot about how they can use what they have learned in my class in their daily life. I want to be available to help all of my students. And instead of teaching about the same thing every day, I want my students to explore and experiment a lot so they can come up with their own ideas and link new information to what they already know. That is the type that is the type of teacher that I want to be.